So, without further ado, because we need to get to this great music, the Westwind Harmony Chorale.
1, 2. Oh, won't you come right in and join our show, and to your neighbor, won't you say hello, turn off your day's misfortunes, for a while turn on a great big smile, relax, enjoy a little harmony, a lot of fun, just let your worries go, for it's a good time barbershop and variety show.
Good evening, Lakeview United Methodist Church. We are Westwind Harmony Chorus, a chapter of Sweet Adelines International, under the direction of Bill Shaw. We do hope you'll sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Let's enjoy a little harmony, a lot of fun. Just let your worries go, for it's a good time barbershop. Time, jazz time barbershop. Panoramic, it's dynamic barbershop and variety. Oh, what a show!
Again, we are very happy to be here with you this evening, and we do hope you'll toss your cares away, because we hope to relax you and take you on a musical journey. Now, do you recall when we actually had telephone operators that would help us place a call? Long time ago, right? Now we don't even know what a rotary dial is. But now we have a song that was made very popular in the 1980s by Tennessee Ernie Ford, but it has made a comeback in 2010 with Manhattan Transfer, and again with Sandy Patty in 2011.
One, two, three. Operator, operator, information. Give me Jesus on the line. Operator, information. I'd like to speak to a friend of mine, Prayer is the number, faith is the exchange, heaven is the street, and Jesus is love. Operator, information. Give me Jesus on the line. Operator, information. Tell me why I've waited so long. Operator, information. Don't try to tell me what number to call. My mama used to stopper when I was very small, and every time she dialed it, she always got a call. Operator, information. Give me Jesus on the line. Operator, information. Don't you help me if you can. Operator, information. Please connect me with the man. Don't worry about the money, I will pay the charge. Just give me a private line, I'm calling from the heart. Operator, information. Give me Jesus on the line. Give me Jesus. Operator, information. Give me Jesus on the operator, information. Give me Jesus on the line.
Many of us had some great experiences going to summer camp. They could have been church camp, scouts, maybe even 4-H. But it had a similar theme that almost every evening we would be around the campfire, telling stories, maybe having s'mores, and then of course singing some songs, and most of them were good old gospel tunes. Here's a medley of some of our favorites.
To Lord, oh to Lord, oh to remember me. Oh glory to Lord, oh to Lord, oh to remember me. Do Lord, oh do remember me. Look away beyond the blue. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Gospel singing here. Oh, gospel singing here. We don't care what mama don't love. We sing gospel anyhow. We're gonna sing some gospel singing here. Glory, hallelujah, bones and bones and dry bones and bones and bones and dry bones and bones and bones go praise God. Hear the word of the Lord. Ezekiel saw the wheel way up in the middle of the air. Ezekiel saw the wheel way in the middle of the air. The big wheel run by faith and the little wheel run by the grace of God. Just a wheel in a wheel way in the middle of the air. Have a little talk with Jesus. Tell him all about our troubles. Hear our faintest cry and he will answer by and by. When you feel a little prayer wheel turning, know a little fire is burning. Have a little talk with Jesus, makes it right, makes it right. Mama don't love no gospel singing here. Hallelujah. Mama don't love no gospel singing here. We shall never be discouraged. We're gonna sing some gospel singing here. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
We hope we got a few of your favorites in there too. The next song is also a medley, and it's actually a product of Tin Pan Alley, and some of the publishers at the time were a little concerned that they were very seasonal and they would just be a flash in the pan. Well, obviously, they have stood the test of time, and we even find that they produce some toe tapping.
In the good old summertime, down by the beautiful deep blue sea, Joe and Jane were always together, said Joe to Jane. I love summer weather, so let's go to that beautiful sea. Follow along, say you're with me. Anything that Joe would suggest to her, Jane would always think it was best for her. So he'd get his board, he'd holler all aboard. Gee, I want to be down by the sea, by the sea, by the beautiful sea. You and I, oh how happy we'll be. When each wave comes rolling in, we will duck or swim and we'll float forever. We'll log over and under and then up for air. Mice rich, so now what do we care? I love to be beside your side, beside the seaside, by the beautiful sea. I love it in the good old summertime, in the good old summertime, yeah. Strolling down the sandy shore with your baby mine. Hold his hand, he holds yours, and that's a very good sign. He will be your ever loved in the good old summertime. 'Cause when each wave comes a-rolling in, we will duck or swim. We'll float if ever, we'll lower over, under, then up for air. Money's money, money's money's money, what do we care? I love to be beside your side, beside the seaside, by the sea, in the good old summer. I don't need a lot of money if I got my honey by the sea. Now's the time.
Ah, the days when we were young, and summer always was something to look forward to. Maybe it was a vacation spot that was special, maybe new activities, perhaps even meeting that special someone. And here's a song that takes us back to those times and brings up the question, what if?
Should have said I love you so, so long ago. I never could tell you I love you. That summer of long ago. I never could tell you I love you. But darling, I love you so. Do you remember my being so shy? Have you forgotten the tear in your eye? I never could tell you I love you, for I left my song unsung on June and July and August nights. That summer when we were young, so young, I should have said something more to you that summer when we were young, so young. I loved you so long, a summer when we were young.
I have a cheat sheet to keep me straight on what songs and the order in which we're singing them. As you heard at the beginning, we are a chapter of Sweet Adelines International. That is an organization that has been in existence for over 70 years. It has approximately 30,000 women, and it has a presence over 5 continents. So it truly is international. Now, barbershop singing is a completely unique American art form, so no matter what country the chorus is from, all of the songs are in English. And what distinguishes the barbershop singing is that really close 4-part a cappella harmony. That's what we all strive for, to ring those chords. So whether we have a chorus of 20, 30, 50, 100, or it's just a quartet, those principles are the same. So I'd like you to help me welcome now one of our chorus quartets, The Breeze.
Thank you. We're going to open with a great old spiritual song. And I'd like to give you a little background so you can kind of think about that while we're singing. This was written by Horatio, oh, and I just knew it. Anyway, oh, darn it. He was a very wealthy businessman in Chicago, and he really got hurt when there was the big stock market break in Chicago. And he thought he should take his family on a trip just to try and forget about everything. But all of a sudden, the big Chicago fire happened, and he had all kinds of properties in Chicago. So he needed to stay back for business. He sent his wife and daughters across the sea for their vacation, and he would join them later. Well, as happenstance would happen, their ship was hit by another ship, and the two daughters were killed. So he gets back, he gets a telegram from his wife, and it says, oh, I am the only one who survived. So he gets on a ship, and as he's passing over the area where their ship sunk, yeah, there we go, sunk is the word, he penned this song. So think about that. When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul. It is well with my soul, with my soul. It is well with my soul. Lord, haste the day when the faith shall be sight, the clouds be rolled back as a scroll. Trumpets shall resound, the Lord shall descend. Even so it is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well with my soul, with my soul. I remember his name, Horatio Spafford. Wonderful tune. Okay. You mustn't worry, you shouldn't even pout, for everything will be all right. Cinderella, some lucky fellow will find you and make you his bride tonight. Oh, what a night when it's gloomy, stars are out of sight, and everything is quite in doubt. Keep your chin up, Cinderella, your future is gonna be mighty bright. No, wait a minute. Yeah, I know. I know you wanted to go on with the song, but I just, by looking at these faces, I think they really, you don't really hear the whole story of Cinderella, and I think you really want to hear the whole story. So I've been working on it, and here we go. Once upon a time in a corn country, there lived a pransome hince and a beautiful girl named Rindersella. Now one day the pransome hince decided to give a bancy fall. He sent invitations out for royals amount, especially to pitch reaple. Now Rindersella lived with her two sad bisters and her muggly other. And when her two sad bisters and her muggly other got their invitations to the bancy fall, they ran right out and bought dancy fresses. But Rindersella knew she couldn't go to the bancy fall, so she cat down and shried. When, all of a sudden, in came her Gary Modfather. Don't cry, Rindersella, he said. You may go to the bancy fall, but you must be home by midnight.
or I'll turn you into a tumpkin. Well, Brindisella went to the Bancy Fall where she met that pransome Hince. He'd been watching her from a wooden window. They danced and danced and lell and fub. Then, at the stroke of midnight, Brindisella stays down the wrist, she slopped her dripper. Oh, well, the next day the pransome Hince went all over the corn fun tree looking for the beautiful burl who'd slopped her dripper. He tried the dripper on the two sad bisters and it fitn't it. He tried the dripper on the muggly other and it fitn't it. Finally, he tried the dripper on Brindisella and it did fit. It was the sight rise. Now the story of the moray is, if you want to go to a Bancy Fall and have a pransome Hince lull and fub with you, don't forget to slop your dripper.
Some lucky fellow will find you and make you his bride tonight. Some lucky fellow will find you tonight.
I don't think you'll find that edition of Cinderella in any of the nursery rhymes, but I hope you had a chance to really hear it because it's hysterical. I mentioned earlier about Tin Pan Alley. Is anybody here from New York? Welcome. We're here because it's cold back there, right? Well, Tin Pan Alley, as we mostly know, was an area of the city in the late 1800s, early 1900s, where all of the aspiring young songwriters would go in the hopes of having their songs published. I referred to that a little earlier ago when the publishers weren't sure that By the Sea and In the Good Old Summertime would really last past the seasons. This is a song that actually talks about a young girl who is waiting for a relationship with her good friend, and it is by telephone mostly. And this is the first song that was written about that newly invented device.
Hello, my baby, hello, my honey, hello, my ragtime pal. Send me a kiss by wire, baby, my heart's on fire. And if you refuse me, honey, you'll lose me, then you'll be left alone. Baby, telephone and tell me you're my own. Hello, 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 hello. Got a little baby, but he's out of sight. I talk to him across the telephone. Never seen my honey, but he's mine, all right. So take a tip, leave this guy alone. I'll say, hello, my baby, hello, my honey, hello, my ragtime pal. Send me a kiss by one, my little baby, my heart's on fire. If you refuse me, honey, you'll lose me, then you'll be left alone. Baby, telephone and tell me you're my own. Hello, 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 hello there, tell me you're all mine.
Think of how far we've come in the world of telephones. Oh my goodness, we probably remember maybe not even having one at home. We shared party lines and did that kind of thing. You didn't want Mrs. Smith down the street to know about your latest crush, all those good things. But now we come to another song. And this is about a gal who is relatively clueless and she is expecting a much anticipated phone call.
I said I would wait for you forever. Darling, I meant every word I said. The thought of not waiting forever, darling, never entered my head. I've been waiting for your phone call for 18 years. Maybe you don't love me anymore. How long must I wait for you to keep our date? Could it be, sweetheart, that you are sore? Are you sore? Waiting for your phone call for 18 years. You said you'd call me back someday. I wasted my youth in a telephone booth. How could you treat your only love this way? I was young and healthy when you left me. Has your love grown cold? You're acting strange. Could it be you're fickle, or didn't you have a nickel? If you'd have written, I'd have sent the change. The change. I've been waiting for your phone call for 18 years. Could it be you found somebody, someone new? I'm going to keep score for 18 more. But after that, baby, we're through, you better believe it. After that, baby, it's buzz off my skirt. After that, baby, goodbye. Bye, bye.
Alexander Graham Bell probably never saw the evolution of the telephone, and oh my goodness, that relationship was based on that particular device. And now I understand that people do the same thing, only they text and break up and do all that kind of stuff with the same, I guess, the basis of the same device. One of our most entertaining, and some would almost say irreverent and prolific songwriters and singers of the 20th century is Ray Stevens. He's quite well known for his novelty songs. And this next piece is actually the story of a little boy taking his squirrel to church one Sunday morning, and the tale of what happens because of that.
When I was a lad, I'd take a trip every summer down the Mississippi to visit my granny in her antebellum world. I'd run barefoot all day long, climbing trees free of song. One day I happened to catch myself a squirrel. Well, I punched him down in an old shoebox, punched a couple of holes in the top. When Sunday came, I snuck him into church. I was sitting way back in the very last pew, showing him my good buddy Hugh, when that squirrel got loose and went totally berserk. What happened next was hard to tell. Some thought it was heaven, others thought it was hell, but the fact that something was among us was plain to see. As the choir sang, I surrender all, that squirrel ran up Harv Newman's coveralls. Harv leaped to his feet, cried, something's got a hold on me. The day the squirrel went berserk in the first self-righteous church in that sleepy little town of Pascagoula. It was a fight for survival that broke out in revival. They were jumping pews and shouting, hallelujah. Well, Harv hit the aisle and dancing and screaming. Some thought he had religion, others thought he had a demon. Harv thought he had a weed eater loose in his fruit of the looms. As he fell to his knees to plead and beg, that squirrel ran out of his breeches leg unobserved to the other side of the room, all the way down to the amen pew where sat Sister Bertha Better Than You, who'd been watching all this commotion with sadistic glee. You should have seen that look in her eye when that squirrel jumped a garter across her thigh. She fell to her knees, cried, Lord, have mercy on me. As that squirrel ran laps inside of her dress, she began to cry and then to confess the things that would make a sailor blush with shame. She talked of gossip and the church dissension, but the thing that got the most attention was when she talked about her love life, and she started naming names. But then the squirrel went berserk in the first self-righteous church in that sleepy little town of Pascagoula. It was a fight for survival that broke out in revival. They were jumping pews and shouting, hallelujah. Well, 7 deacons and the pastor got saved, $25,000 got raised, 50 volunteered for missions in the Congo on the spot. Even without an invitation, there were at least 500 rededications. We all got rebaptized, whether we needed it or not. Well, you've heard the Bible story, I guess, how he parted the waters for Moses to pass, the miracles God has wrought in this old world. But the one I'll remember till my dying day is how he put that church back on the narrow way with a half-praised Mississippi squirrel. The day the squirrel went berserk in the first self-righteous church in that sleepy little town of Pascagoula. It was a fight for survival that broke out in revival. They were jumping pews and shouting, hallelujah. The day the squirrel went berserk in the first self-righteous church in that sleepy little town of Pascagoula. It was a fight for survival that broke out in revival. They were jumping pews and shouting, hallelujah. They were jumping pews and shouting, hallelujah.
We're going to take a quick break. Give your ears a rest for a minute. We're going to do a costume change, but we'll be back in just a few minutes. Thank you.
And I think Priscilla has... Insofar as this one, there we go. Now it's on. Now Jody tells me that this is a great singing congregation. She tells me you people can really sing, and we've been doing a lot of singing, but I think it's time that we do what we call a sing-along. Give you a chance to sing. And I would like you to sing, everybody knows this song, Let Me Call You Sweetheart. Now, everybody knows that, don't they? Let me call you sweetheart. I want to hear you guys sing it. Here we go. Let me call you sweetheart, I'm in love with you. Well, that was pretty good, you know. That wasn't bad at all, but I couldn't really hear you very well. But I'm going to give you a little bit of a challenge. I want you to try, sing this song, and leave out all of the pronouns. So it's going to sound something like this. Let call sweetheart in love. Got it? Let's see how you do. Here we go. It's a challenge. Here we go. Let call sweetheart in love. Didn't catch anybody that time. There we got some. Let him whisper that love to keep the love light glowing in eyes so true. Big finish. Let call sweetheart in love with. Gotcha. Gotcha. Good job.
It's harder than you think, isn't it? Well, we know that we're approaching Veterans Day, and I will make a broad assumption that we have some veterans in our midst this evening. Yes? Wave your hand. Thank you so much for your service, and we thank also the families that stood behind you, supported you, and in many cases, kept those home fires burning. Now I'd like to introduce another one of our chorus quartets. It's known as Tonic.
country, land of my birth. This is my country, grandest on earth. I pledge thee my allegiance, America the bold, for this is my country, to have and to hold. This is my country, land of my choice. This is my country, hear my proud voice. I pledge thee my allegiance, America the bold, for this is my country, to have and to hold. America, my home.
Yes, we would like to take this opportunity to thank all of those who have served our country, who left loved ones behind and made the ultimate sacrifice. George M. Cohen wrote so many wonderful songs, and many of them were patriotic in nature, thanking our veterans. Here are two of our favorite patriotic songs by that famous composer.
I'm a Yankee Doodle dandy, Yankee Doodle do or die. I'm a real live nephew of my Uncle Sam, born on the 4th of July. I've got a Yankee Doodle sweetheart, she's my Yankee Doodle joy. Yankee Doodle went to London just to ride the ponies. I am that Yankee Doodle boy. You're a grand old flag, you're a high-flying flag, and forever in peace may you wave. You're the emblem of the land I love, the home of the free and the brave. Every heart beats true under red, white, and blue, where there's never a boast or brag. Should old acquaintance be forgot, keep your eye on that grand old flag.
We took the red from the flame of dawn, the dawn of a new nation.
And the white was the white of the snow at Valley Forge.
The blue was the blue of the free open sky.
And the stars were the 13 sisters by the sea who built their home and called it liberty.
Should old acquaintance be forgot, keep your eye on that grand old Yankee Doodle went to London singing all the way. I love that grand old flag, grand old flag.
Thank you, ladies. I think in the quartet you can actually see and hear all the different parts as they come together. And as I mentioned earlier, whether it's just the 4 people or a full chorus, we go for that really close chord and ringing that chord, the vowels and all those kind of things. So if anybody's interested in learning more about that, or maybe in your past you've been a Sweet Adeline, talk to any of us afterwards. Okay. Our next song is considered by many to be a masterpiece. It started out as a simple folk hymn, and then it was a Civil War ditty called John Brown's Body. But then new words were written to it by Julia Ward Howe, and it truly became an anthem for justice and stirs so many of us and is used on so many occasions. Many people feel that this is our finest patriotic song.
Eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He hath bruised the faithful right of his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching, truth is marching, truth is marching. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching, marching on. In the beauty of the lilies, Christ was born across the sea, with a glory in his bosom that transfigures you and me. As he died to make men holy, let us live to make men free, while God is marching on. Hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on and on and on. Amen. Amen.
Now, as all of our veterans know, and probably the families as well, there was always a special service song that really got your heart going and your toe tapping and gave you the principles of the service in which you were serving. We call this the Armed Forces Medley, and if you would like to stand when your particular service song is sung, or if you just want to wave at us or whatever the case might be, these songs are for you.
Sound off, sound off, sound off, sound off. 1, 2, 3, 4, sound off. Over hill, over dale, as we hit the dusty trail, and the caissons go rolling along. In and out, hear them shout, counter marching round about, and the caissons go rolling along. Then it's high, high, me in the field artillery. Sound off your numbers loud and strong. Where'er you go, you will always know that the caissons are rolling along. Anchors away, my boys, anchors away. Farewell to college joys, we sail at break of day. To our last night on shore, where'er we roll, until we meet once more. Here's wishing you a happy voyage home. Here is the Coast Guard marching song, our song we sing on land or sea. Through surf and storm and howling gale, I shall our purpose purpose be. Semper Paratus is our guide, our fame, our glory to fight, to save or fight and die. My Coast Guard, we are for you, for you. From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, we fight our country's battle in the air, on land and sea. First to fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor clean. We are proud to claim the title of United States Marines. Off we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Here they come, singing to beat our thunder. Attaboy, give her the gun. Down you die, spreading the flame from under. Off with one hell of a roar. We live in fame, and we're down in flame. Boy, nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force. Hooray for the flag of the free. May it wave as our standard forever. Along the land, on the land and the sea. It's a banner of the right, of the right. We'll always remember the day when our fathers with mighty endeavor proclaimed as they marched to the fray that by their right and by their right it was forever, forever the USA.
Again, thank you to all our veterans and all those that supported them. And now a song that was written by Irving Berlin in 1918, actually when he served in the Army. However, it didn't become popular until the 40s, when it became the campaign song for FDR, and it also became known as a signature song for a certain plus-size singer. Does anybody know who that might be? Yes, sir. And it gave birth to the saying, it's not over until the fat lady sings. So this is a song that really does strike a chord with all of us, and no matter what our political environment is and the political climate or your beliefs at this particular time, it really helps us rally around our country.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. America, my home.
Now we're going to shift just a tad. Downtown, they've put up Christmas lights and decked the streets with tinsel bright. The windows of each store we see contain at least one Christmas tree. In shopping centers everywhere, Christmas carols fill the air, and Santa's broad and merry face is seen in almost every place. From all these signs, one thing is clear: Thanksgiving Day is drawing near. Have you noticed that the day after Halloween, all of the Christmas ads started in earnest, and now we're bombarded? But anyway, it is a most special season. But we would like to pay homage, if you will, to truly a Thanksgiving song. Our next number was published in 1844 as a poem, and it was called The New England Boys' Song About Thanksgiving. Eventually, music was set to it, and it has now become a real familiar holiday tune, and it may take us back to some memories of those holidays that we celebrated some time ago.
Over the river and over the river and over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house we go. The horse goes away to carry the sleigh through the white and drifted snow. Over the river and through the woods, oh how the wind does blow. It stings the toes and bites the nose as over the ground we go. Over the river and through the woods to have a first-rate day. Oh, hear the bells ring, ting-a-ling-ting, it is Thanksgiving Day. Over the river and through the woods, so fast my dapple gray. Spring over the ground like a hunting hound, for this is Thanksgiving Day. Over the river and over the river and over the river and through the woods and straight to the barnyard gate. We seem to go extremely slow, it is so hard to wait. Over the river and through the woods, a grandmother's cat flies by. Hooray for the fun, is the pudding done? Hooray for the pumpkin pie. Hooray for the fun, is the pudding done? Hooray for the pumpkin pie. Yum.
Well, it has been our pleasure to spend some time with you this evening. And as I mentioned, if there's any out there that are interested at all in coming to find out more about us or to join us, we are out of surprise, but we practice in Sun City West. We rehearse every Monday at 7 p.m. at Lord of Life Lutheran Church. So you're welcome to come down and join us and check us out. And we welcome ladies that would love to sing. And it has really been our pleasure to be here with you this evening. We wish you a happy Veterans Day and, of course, happy Thanksgiving as well. Thank you so much.
Tomorrow's another day. I hope and pray we'll be together. Tomorrow is today. Will be a yesterday that's gone forever. So take my hand, my friend. I want to say, I'm glad we laughed and loved and sang together today. So take my hand. I want to say, I'm glad we laughed, I'm glad we loved, I'm glad we sang, oh how we sang today, how we sang today.
Westwind Chorale. Let's give them thanks once more. Thank you. We hope you've enjoyed this evening, and now we want to remind you again that you're welcome to come back to be a part of all that this church and this family is involved in. This really is a family. I've been blessed to be here and you would be as well. And so we invite you to be a part of what we're doing. Now, as you leave, we ask that God would watch over you and protect you and keep you until we meet again to celebrate the gift of music. Amen.